Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. In this video, I want to make some quick observations on the current state of politics in Kenya. What I have observed so far. The first observation, democracy in Kenya is not about the written laws in our constitution. Democracy starts and ends with one individual, Raila Amolo Odinga. It's Raila who is the democracy. In the absence of Raila Odinga, that democracy is dead. If Raila is there, the democracy is alive. And I'm saying that because if you look at all leaders in Kenya, both in Azimio and in Kenya Kwanza, there is no leader who is brave enough to challenge the government. They are coming out as tumbo cries. They don't care what the government is doing. So it's actually Raila Odinga to speak for the democracy in the constitution to be a reality. Politics in Kenya revolves around Raila Odinga. In fact, Raila is the fulcrum in which that politics in Kenya revolves, where that democracy revolves. That's something I've observed. And I'm saying that because upon William Ruto's government being sworn in office, Raila has been silent, and we have been seeing some excesses by this government. To a point, as I talk, William Ruto's government is in the process of constituting IEBC single-handedly. Raila has been silent. And no leader was brave enough to challenge William Ruto's government on that. But you are now seeing Raila Odinga made some remarks at Jacaranda grounds, and already you are seeing panic in William Ruto's government. So democracy in Kenya, in my honest opinion, is not the written law, but it's all Raila Odinga. It's Raila who is the democracy. The democracy Kenyans are talking about in Kenya, that democracy is Raila Odinga. Secondly, Ruto's government is already unpopular amongst Kenyans. It's already unpopular. And the Azimio leaders who dumped Azimio for Kenya Kwanza government, in the coming days, they are going to find the ground very hostile to them. The ground is going to be very hostile to them. So I'm seeing a very high possibility where a good majority of those leaders, especially in the Azimio traditional strongholds or Raila traditional strongholds, they are most likely going to make a U-turn for them to survive politically. Because the ground is getting angry and angrier each passing day, and that is even being made worse by the fact that this government is oppressing the so-called hustlers. So anybody associating with this government will face the wrath of the people. So already, this is a government that is very unpopular amongst the people. And in the coming days, things are only but going to worsen, because it's clear from the projections, life is even going to be more difficult for the common man. The third observation, the traditional voting blocks are still intact. No big change. Raila is most definitely going to maintain his traditional voting blocks. Forget about the leaders crossing over Forget about Western leaders crossing over. Raila will maintain the coast. Raila will maintain Nairobi, Northeastern, Western, Nyanza, and some parts of Rift Valley. And why I'm saying that is because the ground is getting angrier each passing day with this government that clearly lied and cheated them. So the traditional voting areas, in my honest opinion, are still intact, no big change. And if Azimio can play well their politics on the mountain might also surprise Kenyans. That's also something I've observed. The fourth observation, Ruto and his government, they are afraid of Raila Odinga more than any other leader. Forget even about Uhuru Kenyatta, our former president. Forget about anybody. The only leader Ruto's government is afraid of, that leader is Raila Odinga. They just don't know how to handle this man, Raila Odinga. In the coming days, most probably, Ruto will be forced to make peace with Raila Odinga. And this peace, in my honest opinion, is not a handshake. Ni ile ya kuheshimiana. Fanya kazi yangu kama serikali, go by the rules, I'll do my work as maybe opposition, and I'll go by the rules. And that peace, in one way or the other, will mean Raila Odinga's countrywide rallies might not turn or degenerate into political demonstrations and street protests. Ruto will be forced to reach out to Raila Odinga for peace. And I don't think that peace will translate into a handshake, because it's clear Raila is currently enjoying the goodwill of Kenyans. Kenyans don't want to know. They just want somebody who will actually kick out this government from power. Another observation, Raila Odinga is not retiring from politics. He will be very active in politics now and in the future. And even today, if an election was to be done, Raila will win that election. And in this forum, we say things as they are, we speak the truth as it is. If an election was to be done today or any other time, Raila Odinga will win that election. That's something coming out very, very clearly. So William Ruto and his team should actually change strategy. If you stole an election in 2022, that might be the end of a stolen election in Kenya. If at all William Ruto's government will be lucky to reach 2027, there is no election that will be stolen in 2027. From the way this government is ruling, any attempt, in my honest opinion, will not be accepted by Kenyans. Because I'm seeing Kenyans ambao wamefikiwa, yani, they are just fed up and tired of all this nonsense. Elections being stolen, and then you start just stamping, doing completely nothing, rewarding political rejects and allies. 2022, from what I'm seeing currently happening in Kenya, 2022 might be the last stolen election in Kenya. Yes, those are some of the things I've observed. Yes, those are the things I've observed. Let me stop you there, ladies and gentlemen. But just as I did indicate when we were starting, if you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like, and to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Any other person who want to support our forum, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number. Let's meet in our next analysis.